Why Wouldn't We Radio's very own life coach, Mr. Tom Birkenmeyer, will be joining us to give us all a few pointers in achieving a free, healthy, successful life.
Successful life.
Maybe he can help you turn it all around, Ashley.
Yeah. Hopefully. We'll see.
And with that, we are going to take a very quick break, but stay with us. When we come back, we've got an amazing guest, Mr. Tom Birkenmeyer. Will have some advice for all of us that you will not want to miss. We'll be right back. Gentlemen, welcome back to Why Wouldn't We Radio. We are back here hanging out with you once again, 7 to 9 p.m. every Thursday night. Our guest tonight, our guest tonight is a very, very unique man. He preaches love, health, positivity, and he preaches that those things will inevitably bring you success. He fired his own boss in his early 30s. He believes that if you treat every thought like an orgasm, you will be just fine. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Mr. Tom Birkenmeyer. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Hey guys, thanks for that introduction. That was lovely.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Hey, we are
I did.
We are thrilled to have you. Some of our audience is familiar with you already, but to those that are not, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you've managed to set such a positive course for your life.
Oh man, that's a really wide question, so I'll answer it as specific as I can. A little bit about me as well. I love to be a free human being. I don't want to be controlled or manipulated by money or anything for that matter. I like to chart my own course. I don't know, every problem is something to learn and grow from. I know those are all very vague sounding, but if you got a more specific question, you can go more specific. But I mean, that's me in a nutshell. I love challenges. I love growing. I'm incredibly interested in problem solving and taking consistent, relevant action towards a worthy goal.
We will definitely be getting more specific. I want to give the audience an idea of who you are and what you do and what you've been able to accomplish. So let's start here. You make a lot of reference on social media to most people and separating yourself from most people. So tell us a little bit about how imperative it is to set yourself apart from most people and I guess kind of describe for us what you mean by that and how to do that at its best.
Sure. Now that's a question with some teeth to it. Okay, so it's not even an effort for me. I just notice how most people are, how they treat each other, how they talk to people, how they talk to themselves, the actions they take, the incongruence, the gross incongruence between what comes out of their mouth and how their feet walk. I just notice these things, and right off the bat, it's like, I don't want to be like that. That's most people. So that's why I make a lot of references between most people and the minority. It's pretty common to rationalize excuses. If you want to be rare, then don't rationalize excuses. That's just one example. It's extremely common to say one thing and do another. So if you want to be rare, then do what you say and mean what you say. And these are common things. A lot of it just comes down to the golden rule. I don't think a lot of people practice the golden rule very much anymore. It's become normalized in our society so much to not keep your promise, not keep your word, and to just blow it off like it doesn't matter. And it just comes down to some incredible self-absorption that people have but don't have regard for other people. So it's very easy for me to separate myself from those people.
Interesting.
Well, let me ask you this. When did you first start your journey to the kind of success you have now? Like, what were your key factors that brought you to the conclusion, I can't live this life anymore in this box?
Sure. Sure. I think it came mostly from being in the job world. And just to preface, I'm not going to say any of this to put down jobs. It's just personally what I believe and what I've found has worked for me and other people too, Senator. But I had this mantra, and I still have this mantra. I'm always going to do my best. I'm going to go above and beyond. actually. And that's what I did in every job that I've ever had. My first job I had when I was 16, I lost because I wouldn't cut my hair short. And they actually gave me an ultimatum. I'm 16 years old. You have to cut your hair short to become with our conservative image, or you have to work elsewhere. Yep. And there was no wiggle room. I chose the latter. I left. And I'm like, this isn't right. I worked hard. I worked my ass off, actually. And I got, merit increases wherever they had them, but in the end, it didn't matter. Something superficial, I think, of my hair. Are you kidding me? There weren't any customers thinking about it. And, there was experience in the job world. And a bunch of other things, too, that I could go, it would take me all night to go over the main things. But at the end of the day, the final brick that broke the camel's back is the last job I ever had. When I was, 26 years old, I think, or somewhere in there. And worked my ass off at this place for 5 years. I went above and beyond, showed up sick. Everybody liked me, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, all of our jobs were sold to India for cheap wages. So suddenly I was out of the job. It's like, you got to be kidding me. This was the deal that we made. I was going to show up, go above and beyond, work hard, did my job faithfully every day. And this is the thing. So I get the unemployment line. This whole job thing is a scam. So then it started to look like a pyramid scheme to me, like, this horrible scam. And I started keeping my eyes. I just became more open to another way. It's like, there's got to be a better way. That I'm not terribly excited to get back in line and go look for another job. It just hasn't been working out for me, no matter how good I am at my job. It doesn't seem to matter. You're not rewarded for the merits of your effort or your skill. Just not. Maybe in some instances you are, but that's another discussion for another day. But it's just one thing after another. So I was in this place where the soil in my head was extremely fertile. So I started dating a girl back in 2007 that got into the home-based business industry. She invited me. I said no for 3 months. So then I saw that she was having great results with the product, with her health, and also with her paychecks. And this wasn't an infomercial. We all see these infomercials and we wonder if they're full of shit or not. We just don't know if it's bullshit or if it's true. But this person I knew, and I saw what she was doing every day. I saw her paychecks, and I saw her body change and her confidence change. So I'm like, okay, this is real. I know this person. She's not an infomercial where you don't know sure or exaggerated or what. So between that and also the way that I was invited and honored as a thinking person, I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm going to do it. I'm sick and tired of the job racket. I just don't want to go back and get another job. So I got in, worked my ass off in my spare time. A few minutes a day, that's all I had. And it was nothing. It's the ball rolling. 2.5 years later, I bought a job search. I never did find work again. Thank goodness. At the time I wanted to, but as it turned out, I was starting to make more money with this thing. Residual and passive income, that's what it's all about. Like, if anyone's taking notes right now, if anyone's a nerd about taking notes like I am, write down passive and residual income. That's where all the freedom is at. The freedom of the mind precedes that, and if you have a free mind, you can expand into passive and residual income. So that's basically the focus of any income that I create now. Is just passive and residual money, because it doesn't require me to keep showing up for it. There's just initial investment of your time that you make to a point, and at some point, it sort of takes over and runs without your personal involvement. It doesn't matter anymore. It's like you can do what you want with your time. But that's what I'm all about now.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad that you bring up passive income and residual income. Now, obviously, you put forth that effort early on to create that and get that ball rolling for yourself. And then also in your philosophies, you mentioned taking consistent, relevant action. Can you give us some examples of relevant action versus irrelevant action?
Sure. So, gosh, I don't know. Let's say my goal is to lose 20 pounds or something like that. And so I figure out, okay, this is how many calories I need to eat each day, but I'm going over my calories. Well, I might be taking action, but it's no longer relevant to my goal. It's actually working against me. So that's a pretty simple example. Where my goal is financial freedom, but I'm not doing anything to learn about passive and residual money. I'm not doing anything to financially educate myself, and I'm not doing anything to take any action based on what I learned. Well, then it's not consistent or relevant. So it has to be consistent. It has to be relevant action.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Another thing that I wanted to ask you about, because obviously through Why Wouldn't We Radio, we use social media pretty heavily, not only for the show, but for our own individual uses. We have also been very harsh critics of social media on this show.
Sure.
But it is also, of course, very hard to ignore the marketing value and the marketing network value of it. I'm curious to know what your take on social media is.
Sure. Well, like with any other technological advancement, people can either use it to dumb themselves down or to become enlightened in one way or another. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Like with social media specifically, and as that advances, people use it to become more socially isolated from one another. And as a result, their conversation skills get weaker. And as a result of that, they fight because they no longer have an ability to communicate themselves or articulate, and they just babble this nonsense. So that's what we're seeing from most people. It goes back to most people versus what it's like to not most people. So like with something like Facebook, the idea behind it is to bring us together. But that only happens with people that are going to be mature about it. And with people that are going to be immature about it, they'll use it to create isolation. That creates more depression, more sadness, fighting, just sad.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting whenever you start diving into the psychological effects of social media and Facebook. You know, there are a lot of people, and I'm sure you have them on your friends list just as I do, that are going to post nonsense. Absolute nonsense means absolutely nothing, but they're only posting it. They're only putting it out there to start a conversation. So somebody's either going to like it or somebody's going to comment on it. They're going to get that little blast of dopamine that they get, like the same way that they get whenever a text message comes in. And it actually starts becoming a physical addiction. So I suppose where I'm going with this is to pursue the necessary channels to market and promote yourself and start a stream of steady, passive, or residual income. Social media has to be at work in there somewhere. So I guess my question to you would be how to properly balance the two. Does that make sense? Do you have any words of encouragement or any kind of strategy?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
I built my business, my brand, my passive and residual income on social media, on the internet. And for me, that works because I'm actually extremely introverted and shy and socially awkward, and I'm not going to go up to strangers and start talking to them, much less tell them about business or opportunity or anything like that. So for me, it's just very easy to want to learn how to do it online on social media. But the way that I do it is I don't really promote business. I don't promote the name brand of the business or any of that stuff. I don't talk about products or services or any of that stuff. I'm pretty much just being me, talking about things that I love. And then I've scattered about in various posts wherever I feel the energy like it's appropriate. I'll have a call to action like connect with me privately if you want to know more about what I did to do this or what this person did to do that. Or if you like this idea of whatever I was just talking about or teaching, connect with me. I've got another resource I can point you to that has this and it's free and all these other things. I'm not selling or marketing anything on my Facebook. I don't believe that's the right place for it, at least not in the timeline or anything.
Right, yeah, and I appreciate that about you. I really did. I admire that.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, of course, and we'll, towards the end of our interview, we'll give you a chance if any of our audience wants to connect with you and learn more about what you've done and how to better themselves, and then we'll certainly give you the opportunity to put that information out there.
Sure, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I've watched your page for some time, and I always see positivity, some cool hobbies that you do. You play guitar, you have great life quotes, you delve into different health topics. Out of all the endeavors that you currently pursue, what is your most active passion endeavor that you have?
About half of that message was cut off, so if I don't answer your question completely, then feel free to ask me. I can accept that I got all of that, but my most, the thing that I do that I'm most passionate about, I think is what I heard.
Yes.
You ask me?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know, that's a tough one. Okay, I'd love to grow healthy, rich people. That's pretty direct and straightforward. I'd love growing healthy, rich people. I have a traveling too. I love arts. I love self-expression. They're kind of big topics, but to grow healthy, rich people, I think is the coolest.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful that you share that with others.
Well, do you refer to yourself as a life coach? Is that an appropriate handle for you?
And I don't know. I've certainly been called a life coach. I have no certifications or degrees or certificates or anything like that. I mean, officially, I'm nothing. I'm like the expert layperson. If someone wants to think of me a life coach, that's cool. But I don't even know what I would call myself. I don't know. A student and a teacher. I actually have this goal every day of learning something new and teaching something every day. I mean, that's why I've got like so far over 2,200 videos. I'm not kidding. And hundreds and hundreds of blog posts. And I've just got multiple thousands of different contexts every day I want to learn and teach something. So, I don't know, Tom Burton-Myers, student and teacher. I don't know. Sounds kind of cheesy and corny, but that's like what I do every day. I learn and teach.
Well, we will herald you as a life coach. How about that?
Yes.
Or if you want to make up a new title that's never been titled to anybody before, have at it.
There you go. That's what we'll do. Now, I also wanted to touch on physical health. Physical health is it's a very important part of your lifestyle as well. So what advice would you give our audience as far as diet and exercise are concerned? Is there anything specific that you adhere to?
Yeah, plant-based whole food nutrition. There's a lot of very complicated factors in diet nutrition, and it's different for everybody. So if you go under the guideline of plant-based whole food nutrition, it's a great starting point to figure out what's going to work for you. Because what works for me isn't going to work for the next person. But if you keep it plant-based, you're not doing dairy or too much meat, if any meat. You keep it whole food, which is where a lot of people screw up on. There's so much bad advice out there that doesn't include whole food. And what I mean by that is like the candy bars and chips and things like that. Those have a lot of isolates in it, so it's not whole. There's a lot of things that have sugar added to it, sugar isolates and salt isolates and things like that. And protein isolates like protein shakes. Protein shakes aren't really that good for you because it's not whole. The body, the way that we're designed, nature designed us, nature designed food for us. So if you keep everything in its whole property, like if you're going to eat an apple, you eat an apple. You don't take out the phytonutrients and keep everything else, or you don't isolate this or that, because then the body doesn't quite know what to do with it all. But if you have it whole, like a whole onion, a whole apple, a whole whatever, if you want to get a protein, then you can, I don't know, eat an almond. Almonds are going to have a protein. Broccoli has lots of protein and calcium and things like that. That's the best way to get all the nutrients, which is by eating whole food. It's going to come in its various quantities in proportion to each other that the body knows, okay, I know exactly what to do with this because nature made it, and I know what to do with it if there's energy.
You know, you would think that would be common sense, but again, you know, it's sadly not.
Yeah.
Now, that also, does that apply to the rule of 9? Like if there's a 9 at the beginning of the serial number on an apple? Does that ring any bells?
I actually saw me post that. I remember when it made something about that. So there's a great mnemonic device. 9 is fine. It rhymes, right? If you look at the little PLU number on, next time you go to the grocery store, just check out the produce section where they got the little sticker on it, the PLU number. If it starts with a 9, it means it's organic. If it doesn't start with a 9, it means it's toxic and nutrient deficient because it was raised on herbicides and fungicides, pesticides, and maybe antibiotics and who knows else. So whenever possible, don't stress about it, but whenever possible, get organic. If it says 9, it's fine.
If it says 9, it's fine. Mm-hmm. There you go, audience.
Yeah, that's the first.
If you guys are
number, we'll have more numbers, but the first number should read 9.
If you guys are just now joining us, we have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Tom Burkenmeyer tonight. He's given us some life pointers, filling us in on how would you describe it? Independent wealth, passive income, health, just overall, physical, psychological, residual.
Yeah, just health and wealth. We'll call it that.
I like it.
Health and wealth, healthy rich people, right? Something like that.
Healthy rich people.
Is there any quirky health advice that you can give to our audience that a normal life coach would not provide to you?
quirky advice? Yeah, an orgasm a day is like an apple a day, but better.
There you go.
Perfect. See, our audience
But
needed
without
that.
the presence of any blue pills, because then it's not organic.
No blue
It doesn't start
pills.
with 9.
Blue bills don't start with 9.
I got you.
No.
I got you. I like
Sure
it.
don't.
Now, yeah, I mean, you incorporate the idea of orgasms into thought processes as well. You know, I was on your Facebook earlier today, and I saw you talking about making every thought or treating every thought like an orgasm. I've never quite heard that approach
I like that approach.
to life before. So how do you do that?
How do I incorporate orgasm or whatever to a healthy lifestyle? Is that what you're asking?
No, how do you treat every thought like an orgasm?
Oh, that post. Okay, you're making a reference to the post I made. Treat every thought as if it's an orgasm.
We Facebook
Man,
sent
I was just, where was I the day that I created that? That is one of my posts that usually performs pretty well, so repurpose and recycle it every now and then, just because it's a fun post that just makes you laugh. So it's a light humor post, but if I was to diagnose it into something more meaningful, I would say enjoy all of your thoughts because there's a lesson there maybe, I don't know, or some cheesy crap like that. I'm not really sure. Otherwise, it's just meant as a light humor post.
I like that. I like that.
Well, is there any kind of parting words that you'd like to give our audience? Anything that that like?
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was
Sure,
actually
like-
before we start getting ready to part with you, Tom.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was also going to comment on the fact that you're a music enthusiast as well. I'm curious to know what
I love
kind
music.
of. I know exactly. I was getting that vibe from you. What kind of effect has music had on your life, and how do you apply it to everything that you've achieved?
Okay, what a great question, because I love doing music, and it doesn't make me any money whatsoever. I do it because I love doing it. I have free time to do it now because of passive and residual money. I can do it anytime I wish, which is a beautiful thing to be able to do whatever you want anytime you wish. So I can just set up shop here at my house and play full blaze. I love heavy metal more than anything in the world. So I'm always doing this exotic metal, shred metal stuff. I love heavy metal music and just being a shredder on guitar. And I love wide vibratos, and I love, I made 6 original albums. I've got 6 of them. I give it all away for free because I can afford to. I can afford to work for free and do interesting projects for free because I can afford to because the passive and residual money, which is what I teach people how to make themselves. So they can do what they want with their time. And my music website, if you're interested, is called, get this, it's no surprise, it's musicalorgasms.org. It has an orgasm, or musicalorgasms.com. I bought both domain names.
Oh, you got .org and .com. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
musicalorgasms.org and .com. And I give away 6 albums that I've written. You can just down them up, and it's all there, including the cover work for people that want to print out CD covers and this and that. It's all there.
So does the
I
music?
got so much music.
Have you had any fans of your music that has helped them reach their mental orgasms that have
I keep telling people, if you have one while you're listening to my music, let me know. And if you have multiple while listening to my music, give me a testimonial, like take a snapshot of it and put it on the wall. Some people have told me that they nearly reached, or they did reach a climactic experience, but I mean, it was nothing that I could really publish. So I guess I'm still waiting for that first testimonial that I can really, like, seriously have. That would be so cool.
Well, we'll see what we can do for you, Tom.
Sweet.
So, if you had to, if you had to pick a band that has inspired you, let me put it this way: if you name the band that has inspired you more than anybody others to achieve what you've achieved.
King Diamond, piece of cake.
What was that?
King Diamond.
King Diamond. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. That's
awesome.
badass. Yeah, no, I didn't see that one coming.
Oh, and I know King Diamond. That's
I know.
cool.
Yeah, I was listening to King Diamond earlier today. Actually, that's awesome.
And Jason Becker is, right after him. As far as the personal story goes, if you know anything about Jason Becker, his personal story, probably more so it's just dealing with the Lou Gehrig disease. But musically and the whole thing package combined for a band, King Diamond is my favorite. Always has been.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And by the way, this goes back to residual and passive income also, because I've got these freedoms because of that type of income that I teach people to build for themselves. I can go and fly up and see King Diamond. And it's like I can see him here in Chicago or in Milwaukee. I'm in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And when he's in Las Vegas, that's my favorite city in the world to go to. And so whenever I can have that merger between seeing my favorite band and my favorite city, I fly out there and see him. I'll be this August at Psycho Fest, which I think is happening at the Hard Rock Hotel. But I'll be out there specifically for that. So that's another great thing is you can sort of stalk your favorite bands and follow them on the road.
Oh, that is.
How cool is that?
That's awesome. That's great. And I was actually just about to point out, to our listening audience here, Tom has been able to achieve some amazing things by obtaining passive and residual income. He is he classifies himself as a free man. If you guys want to reach out and get in touch with Tom so he can perhaps help you, Tom, how do they get in touch with you?
They can visit me on my Facebook, and the easiest way to find that is probably go to my website, tomberkenmeyer.com, just like it's spelled here in this channel, and on my social media, you can Google me, it'll come up. Take out the space, of course, tomberkenmeyer.com, you'll see my Facebook, you'll see my YouTube, and you can reach out to me privately from there.
Awesome, perfect, thank you. We are starting to run short on on time. Do you have any a final message of encouragement for our audience?
Sure. I don't resonate with everybody. God knows I've offended a few people, not on purpose. But if you resonate with me, if we vibe, then I'm excited to hear from you. And it doesn't even have to be about passive and residual money. You can, say hey if you want to. It's all good.
Well, you're a very cool guy, Tom, and we definitely appreciate you coming on Why Wouldn't We Radio.
Yes.
Thank you very much, man, and I look forward to having you back on again sometime.
Yeah, I look forward to it too. Congrats on your success, and thanks again for inviting me. It was fun.
Absolutely.
It was fun. Hey, take care of yourself, brother, and we will we'll keep in touch with you.
All right, sounds good. Take care.
All right, we'll talk to you. Great guy. Love Tom.
Yeah, and he, on my birthday, he actually sent me a personalized live video singing me happy birthday and being just super nice. So this guy is just got a heart of gold.
Oh, that is very nice.
So nice.
Well, I'm happy for you. At least somebody told you happy birthday.
I know. One person.
All right, let's see here. Like I said, we are up against it. But we